If I had to move to Puerto Vallarta in the next 30 days, not someday, not after 6 more months of overthinking, not after watching 47 more YouTube videos or opening 19 tabs and emotionally spiraling over visa forums written by a guy named Gary in 2014. I mean like 30 days and done. Here's exactly what I would do. Because after spending almost 10 years helping people relocate to my neon hometown of Las Vegas, I can tell you something very clearly. Most people do not get stuck because the move is impossible. They get stuck in this process because they try to solve everything: housing, visas, neighborhood, taxes, healthcare, friendships, purpose, identity, and their entire future all at the same time. And that creates paralysis. So if I had to move to Puerto Vallarta quickly, I would not try to figure out everything immediately. I would focus on the right things in the right order. And honestly, I think a lot of people are closer to making a move like this than they realize. Because let's be real, the cost of living conversation in the US has dramatically changed. We all know that. Housing costs have exploded in many major cities. Now, remote work has opened up a lot of new possibilities for millions of people, thankfully. According to Gallup and international mobility surveys, more Americans than ever are actively considering living abroad, either full-time or part-time. Puerto Vallarta keeps ending up on those lists for a reason. So if this place has been kind of sitting in the back of your mind lately, here's exactly how I would approach it. Step number 1, decide what kind of move this actually is. Before I book a flight, before I look at condos, before I build a giant spreadsheet pretending I have emotional control over my future, let's be real, I would decide this one thing first. What kind of move is this? Because these are very different strategies. A test move, a soft transition, a part-time lifestyle move, or is it a full relocation? And honestly, if I only had 30 days, I would not treat this like some permanent, forever decision carved into stone. I would treat it as a strategic test move with intention. That changes your pressure level immediately, because you do not need to prove the next 20 years in the next 30 days. You just need to answer this. Does this place work well enough to keep exploring? That is a much healthier question, and I'm honest about this when I say that I think this is where people get trapped. They think if I move abroad, it has to be the answer. No. Sometimes the smartest move is just testing first, learning fast, adjusting later. And that's strategy. Step 2, book the trip first, not the perfect plan. This is where people lose months of time. They try to build the perfect plan before they ever arrive. I would not do that. I would book the flight, lock in a place to stay for 2 to 4 weeks to create like a temporary base and get myself on the ground. Because clarity usually does not come from your laptop, let's be real. It comes from walking neighborhoods and testing routines, hearing the city, feeling the pace, noticing what would actually matter to you. So no, I would not wait until I had every answer. I would get myself into the city and let reality start to teach me some things, because reality is much more useful than the fantasy that we're making up in our heads. Step 3, line up local help before you arrive. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. They land and then they start trying to figure out neighborhoods and rentals, scams, transportation, local pricing, where they should live, who they should trust. This wastes all your time real quick. So if I only had 30 days, I would absolutely line up local help before arriving. Because wandering around the city hoping clarity magically appears is not a relocation strategy. That's vacation behavior. And if I'm moving quickly, I do not need more vibes, my loves. I need signal. I would want neighborhood guidance, rental strategy, realistic expectations, local insight, of course, and someone who honestly understands both the lifestyle and the practical side of relocating. Because Puerto Vallarta is not one experience. Zona Romantica feels very different from Marina Vallarta. Versailles feels very different from Nueva Nayarit. The hills matter, the humidity matters, the walkability matters, the noise, the pace, all of that matters. And so the faster you understand that, the smarter your decision will become. Honestly, this is exactly why I do what I do. That's what this channel is about. I've spent almost 10 years helping people relocate to my neon hometown of Las Vegas, and now I'm doing the same thing in places around the world that keep making people ask, wait a minute, could I actually live here? So if Puerto Vallarta has been sitting in the back of your mind lately, please reach out. I will help you build a real plan with the right people in the right place. There is no pressure, just clarity. Because sometimes this stops being a vacation fantasy and it starts becoming the real vision of your next life that actually makes sense. And I want to be there to help you. Step 4, study neighborhoods like someone who has to live there. This is critical. I would not explore Puerto Vallarta as a tourist. Don't do that. I would explore it like somebody who has to exist there on a random Tuesday. So that's very different energy, my friends. I'm asking, where would my actual routine be? Where would I go grocery shopping? Where would I walk? Where would I work? Where would I feel comfortable at night? Where would I still like myself after 6 months? That is gonna be the real test. Not, would I stay here for 4 days? It's more like, would this lifestyle still work once the vacation mode wears off? Because it does wear off very quickly. Now, Puerto Vallarta neighborhoods are very different experiences across the board. You've got Zona Romantica, which is very social, walkable, lively, energetic, beautiful, but very much louder and more expensive than what you might think. Marina Vallarta is calmer, cleaner, very polished, a lot easier, familiar feeling for many Americans, which is nice. It's a little more expensive though. Versailles is gonna be trendy, cafe heavy, very livable, younger energy, very strong food scene, more practical daily rhythm, kind of by comparison to some of the more touristy areas, which is kind of cool. Nuevo Nayarit and Bucerías is a little bit more of a slower pace, more space, kind of a beach town feel, a lot more breathing room, often better value per square foot, which is nice. And those are not small differences. This is like daily life compatibility, and compatibility matters more than the aesthetics long term, I promise you that. Step 5, do not force the perfect housing decision. This is where people panic, and I would panic too, so I get it. They think, I need to find my forever place immediately. No, you do not. If I were moving in 30 days, I would prioritize flexibility, stability, and optionality, not perfection. Because your first apartment does not need to be your forever apartment or your dream condo or your identity or your final answer. It just needs to support the transition, that's all. That mindset alone prevents so many expensive mistakes. I think people underestimate how much clarity changes after 30 to 60 days on the ground. I've experienced it myself. Massive difference from the first 2 weeks to me being there after several weeks. I had a completely different view. The neighborhood you thought you wanted may actually not fit your daily routine. The perfect ocean view condo may become emotionally less exciting after carrying groceries uphill in humidity 3 times a week. So reality reveals things quickly, and that's really good. You want reality early. Step 6 is just understand your money flow and do it quickly, not deeply, quickly. I need to know, what is my baseline monthly cost gonna look like? How am I gonna access my money? Because it's not as easy as you think if you have American banking, just being real. How will I pay my bills? How will I handle my health care? And whether daily life feels financially sustainable. Now, if you want a full cost breakdown, I've already made a full Puerto Vallarta cost of living video with updated 2026 numbers. This video is more about strategy. That video gives you numbers, so go and find that on the channel. The goal of this video and the first 30 days is not to have you build that perfect spreadsheet. The goal is, can I operate here comfortably enough for this move to keep making sense? Because that's the real question. Step 7, test your daily routine immediately. Immediately, don't go and be on vacation right away. This is where the truth shows up very quickly. Show up acting like you live there from day one. Within the first week, I would be testing coffee spots, grocery stores, transportation, that Wi-Fi, because it's not always reliable, work rhythm, walkability, safety perception, noise levels, social energy, your evening routine, your morning routine. You're getting my drift here, right? Because this is what tells you whether this city is gonna work for you. It's not the view, although that's beautiful. It's not the beach, although that's lovely. It's not the fantasy that we're telling ourselves, it's the routine. And if your routine feels natural, lighter, easier, healthier, more aligned, that's gonna matter enormously. If it's feeling a little more stressful, isolating, chaotic, frustrating, that's gonna matter too. Now, there's no prize for forcing a place to be right, so don't do that. Step 8, leave room to adjust. This is the biggest one, this is huge. Most people make one of 2 mistakes. They either rush into a long-term commitment because they're excited, which I get it, or they freeze completely because they're overwhelmed. I would do neither. I would stay flexible if I were you. I'd let the city reveal itself slowly. Because if I only have 30 days, what I am looking for is momentum, not perfection. A smart move is not rigid, so that's something to keep in mind. If it's rigid, not a good idea. It's got to evolve as reality becomes clearer to you, so don't forget that. Step 9, get honest about what you're actually solving for. This is the real question underneath all of it. Why are you doing this? Take that in for a minute. Take a deep breath with me. Why are you doing this? Are you solving for burnout, lifestyle, freedom, weather, healthcare? That's a big one. Costs? Do you need adventure? Are you seeking new community? Is this an investment? We can help you with that. Pace? Are you trying to escape loneliness? Because if you don't know what you're solving for, you can end up in the right city for the wrong reasons. And we got to avoid that at all costs. Because that's when people blame the city, when really the issue was clarity. Puerto Vallarta can absolutely be a smart move, but only if it aligns with what you actually need. And honestly, that part makes more sense than almost anything else. Let's just be real. Step 10, build the real plan after you arrive. Now, this is the opposite of what most people do, because most people try to finalize every little detail before arriving. I've talked about that a little bit. I would do the opposite. I would build the framework first and the detailed plan after arrival. Because once I'm there, I know what neighborhoods fit. I know what routines feel good. I know what the city actually costs me. I know what type of move this is becoming, and I know whether I want to keep going. And that is when the real plan gets built out. It's not going to be from panic or fantasy. It's going to be from reality. Reality is a much better planner. I promise you that. So this is exactly how I would approach it. Not perfectly, but strategically. I've spent almost 10 years helping people relocate to my neon hometown of Las Vegas, and now I'm doing the same thing in places around the world that keep making people ask this question, could I actually live here? So if Puerto Vallarta keeps pulling at you, because I know she is, that's why you're watching this video, I can help you think through that. Please reach out to me. Scan the QR code on the screen. We'll talk through neighborhoods and budgeting and timelines and strategy, and whether this move actually even makes sense for you. Again, no pressure, no sales pitch. I just want to give you clarity. I have people on site that I've worked with and set up as a team to help people do this. Moving to Puerto Vallarta in 30 days is not about having everything figured out, as I've said a few times in this video. It's about knowing what matters and ignoring what does not. You do not need a perfect plan to begin. You just need momentum and structure and flexibility and that clarity so we can take this smart step together. Because once you do that, that 30-day move stops feeling impossible and it starts feeling very doable. And I hope that I hear from you soon so I can help you through the process. Thanks for tuning in. If you aren't subscribed already, please do so and comment below and let me know where you're watching from. I want to get to know you and I really hope I get to talk to you soon. I'll see you next time.